How did you get involved in this? What is your connection? Are you a food truck person or a baykeeper? What is your connection?
Well, I am both, honestly. I am the president of the Mobile Baykeeper Young Advisory Council Leadership Committee, which is a mouthful, obviously.
Yes, it is.
But
now you're
essentially,
considered young.
yeah, still, believe it or
Okay,
not.
so you're a young man. You're in the workforce,
Yes, sir.
and you're a Young Advisory Council.
Yes, sir. And it's a group of young adults, young professionals who are engaged in the community with a passion of promoting our environment and the health and cleanliness of it.
And you advise, you gather together and you advise
Well,
Baykeeper?
we are more of an intermediary. The Baykeeper staff and fellow Baykeepers are extremely involved. They're advocates for the environment. They're watchdogs on its behalf. And they convey a lot of what they learn to us, and then we go out in the community and kind of spread the word and let them know all the homework that Baykeeper's been doing.
Okay, so this is to raise money for Baykeeper itself.
Yes,
and this
sir.
is what the Young Advisory Council thinks is fun, is to have a bunch of trucks and eat out of the trucks.
Well, Henry, I have a little surprise for you. There is a truck that's going to be there whose sole dedication is the promotion of bacon.
Oh, really?
It is a food truck called Bacon My Day, and I think they have just about everything on the menu. It'd be something you would enjoy.
Wow, that sounds fantastic. So, again, this is Wednesday night. What other kind of trucks are going to be there?
Well, this year we will have more trucks than ever before. We've kind of rearranged the setup, kind of moved some things around, but there'll be a barbecue option. I think Wemo's Wings and Things will be there. There will be Mexican Tex-Mex option. There'll be Frios, which are gourmet popsicles, and I'm leaving out probably half of the other good stuff.
How do you know your country is doing pretty good? Even though we have our problems, but if you can have a gourmet popsicle, that is... a lot of parts of the world they can't afford the luxury of a gourmet popsicle. All right, look, this is the Bay Bites Food Truck Festival. Stand by. We're going to continue talking about it into the next segment right after traffic and weather together. We do it every 10 minutes on the nines. But this is Wednesday night where?
5 p.m. at Cooper Riverside Park.
All right, stand by. We're going to continue talking about delicious foods and popsicles in just a moment.
710 Time Saver Traffic from the Main Street Flooring and Design Traffic Center.
Our biggest problem vehicle this morning isn't a car, a truck, or an SUV. It is a train, and a very long one at that. There's an 11,000-foot-long train that has been stopped on the tracks in downtown Pensacola, blocking the crossings at several intersections for over an hour now. We're hearing it could be as late as 8:30, another hour and a half, give or take, before they finally get this thing moving down the road again. So obvious problems there. The other difficulty this morning is the rain. A lot of it still moving through the area. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Ray Romero.
This report is brought to you by the T.J. Martell Foundation.
Hey everybody, I'm Eric Church, asking you to join me in the fight against leukemia, cancer, and AIDS through the T.J. Martell Foundation. Your support helps facilitate cutting-edge research that will lead to more effective treatments and save more lives. Visit tjmartell.org to learn about music's promise for a cure.
Now, Gulf Coast weather from Local 15.
Our rain chances are ramping up as we start a brand new work week. Our high today, 89 degrees, very tropical air mass. Our storm coverage today at 60%. For your Tuesday, we're back in the 90-degree saddle. We'll have about a 40% chance of rain, and the weather's going to be on repeat for Wednesday. So we will begin to see our rain chances decrease as the week progresses. I'm Kelly Foster for Local 15 News in this iHeartRadio station.
This report is brought to you by Unbound. In places around the world, there are elders who long for community, connection, and the opportunity to live with greater dignity. Sponsor an elder through Unbound and help bring a brighter tomorrow to one person who has helped us all build a better world. Meet one at unbound.org.
Roll Tide. This is the Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show. Mr. Hill is here. He's young and works on some type of young person's advisory council for Mobile Baykeeper, and they have an event to raise money for Baykeeper coming up Wednesday night, Cooper Riverside Park.
Yes, sir. You know, we usually connect late July with kind kind of the heat and humidity and
Exactly,
some of the
yes.
horrors that our locale has to offer. But this location, actually being on the river, provides a nice breeze, and it's been a lot more enjoyable than what you'd imagine every year.
All right, so this is 5 o'clock Wednesday night with a bunch of food trucks. And so I come down there and I pick a truck and I get food off of it.
Well,
What does it cost?
You can pick multiple trucks. We encourage people to buy their tickets in advance. They're 15 in advance. If you go to mobilebaykeeper.org and find the events page, you should be able to navigate through there. But if you show up at the door, if tickets are still available, they'll be $20 at the door.
Okay, so and then for $20, if I wanted to eat off of every truck, could I, or am I limited to a few trucks?
You are-
What is the cap on my appetite?
It is personal preference only. Your ticket serves as a donation to Mobile Baykeeper, but it also gets you 3 beverages. There will be craft beer there available from Sweetwater and Gulf Distributing, and then we'll also have Coke products if craft beer is not your thing.
Okay, so adult and average person beverages, and then your run of the food trucks.
Absolutely.
And will there be at any point does somebody get up at a podium and talk environmental stuff? Is there any lecturing going on while we're there?
Only briefly.
There's a brief lecture.
No lecture, Uncle Henry, no lecture. We will be out there enjoying our beautiful environment and community. If we get up and say anything, it'll just be to come out and thank everyone for attending, encourage them to buy from the food trucks. And, I've forgotten to mention some of the most exciting things that'll be there. We've partnered with Blue Rinse this year. They've been very generous, and there'll be a dunk tank if you're interested in joining.
What would that be for?
Well, you raise money and
People
and
pay extra to dunk somebody?
Yeah.
Who's going to get dunked?
Well,
Just don't name anybody from any other radio
it
station.
could be you. But we'll have people there. But we'll also have, I forgot that we partnered with another local organization. There'll be laser tag in the parking lot of the convention center. And like I said, Blue Rinse is partnered with us. I think there's going to be a water slide there, an inflatable water slide. So, I mean, there will literally be things there for people of all ages.
Laser tag in the parking lot of the Civic Center?
Yes. It's convention center.
Convention
excuse me.
center?
Yes, sir. Cooper Riverside Park is right there.
Right.
And so it should be a lot of fun. I mean, there's something for everybody.
Okay. You look like you're already having fun, and you aren't even there yet.
Absolutely. Well, this event, it was a big success the first year, and every year it's really enjoyed phenomenal growth. And that's why I'm really encouraging people to buy their tickets in advance because we hate having to turn people away at the gate, but unfortunately we've had to do it in years past. So.
Okay. Well, we're almost out of time here. Is there anything that we need to mention we haven't mentioned about the Bay Bites Food Festival?
Not that I know of, other than it's to benefit Mobile Baykeeper, which is a community environmental advocacy organization providing citizens a means to protect the beauty, health, and heritage of Mobile Bay watershed, as well as our coastal communities. Excuse me.
All right. Well, we're out of time. Mr. Hill, I wish you the very best with this festival, and I hope you have a great turnout.
Thank you, Uncle Henry. It's always such a pleasure coming on your show.
Thank you very much. More show in a moment.
Sorry about that.
All right, we're here on Facebook, and Mr. Hill is getting ready to exit the building. Thank you for coming in and talking about your festival.
Absolutely.
Before you go, I don't understand why people are so excited about eating out of a truck. Because it's not just your festival. People are really excited anytime there's a truck with food. Why is it the novelty of eating off of the truck?
Partially, and it's also kind of something that you and I both love, is there's that aspect of the fair food. You know, they do something a little different than your normal sit-down restaurant. Like this year, one of our newer food trucks is Crepe Crusader, and they have a lot of very interesting things on their menu where it incorporates just that aspect of the fair, and it's that novelty kind of things that you wouldn't normally associate with what you would consume on a Wednesday evening.
Okay, so it's still mysterious to me that we like to eat out off of a truck, that for some reason people are more excited about that
Absolutely.
than
And
they would be some other venue.
And from a business aspect, there are lower barriers to entry, so it really promotes entrepreneurship. People who may not have the capital to open their own standalone restaurant can make a smaller investment and take their talents and time across the community and have a run at it. And if they're good at it, the results don't lie.
If it were a hot dog truck, wouldn't that be pure profit?
Absolutely.
I mean, a hot dog, you could buy those in bulk. They might even give them away if it's in bulk, just to get rid of them.
I see you are not a frequenter of downtown Dauphin Street
No,
on a Saturday
of
or
course
weekend
not.
night.
No.
They charge several dollars for these hot dogs. They probably have much more comfortable lives than you and I combined.
They probably do. All right. Well, again, Mr. Hill, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you again.
A pleasure
Uncle Henry.
having you here, and I hope you have a great success with your event.
Thank you.
472-BENZ. That's 251-472-BENZ.
Hi, I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans. Every day people ask me, can I still take advantage of today's low rates? Is it still a good time to refinance? The answer is yes. Now's a great time to call Quicken Loans at 800-QUICKEN. The rate today on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.99%, APR 4.19%. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to QuickenLoans.com. That's 800-QUICKEN.
Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 3030.
Home isn't just a place. It's a feeling. Whether you're at home, your business, or online, ADT helps keep you safe. With security systems, home automation, alarms, and surveillance. So you can feel at home wherever you are. Go to ADT.com to get that feeling. ADT. Home, safe home.
Do you have the worst boss in the world? Are you the worst boss in the world? I'm Kim Scott.
And I'm Russ Laraway. And together we host Radical Candor, a podcast from Panoply and Gretchen Rubin's Onward Project about how not to hate the boss you have or be the boss you hate.
In each episode, we share cringe-worthy stories and offer concrete tips you can put into practice today. Listen for free by searching for Radical Candor on iHeartRadio now.
710 Time Saver Traffic from the Dean McCrary Porsche Traffic Center.
Our biggest problem vehicle this morning isn't a car, a truck, or an SUV. It is a train, and a very long one at that. There's an 11,000-foot-long train that has been stopped on the tracks in downtown Pensacola, blocking the crossings at several intersections for over an hour now. We're hearing it could be as late as 8:30, another hour and a half, give or take, before they finally get this thing moving down the road again. So obvious problems there. The other difficulty this morning is the rain. A lot of it still moving through the area. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Ray Romero.
This report is brought to you by LifeLock. It's morning. Here's an eye-opener. LifeLock can see more threats to your identity than you can see if you're just monitoring your credit. And if something happens, a U.S.-based specialist can work to fix it. Go to LifeLock.com. Use promo code RISK to save 10%.
Gulf Coast weather from Local 15 and the Kemco Metal Buildings Weather Center.
It is going to be a muggy Monday along the Gulf Coast. We've got about a 60% chance of storms today, so grab that umbrella. We'll top out at 89 degrees, overnight low of 74, and a 40% chance of storms by Tuesday. A high temperature of 91 degrees. I'm Kelly Foster for Local 15 News in this iHeartRadio station.
Your home for traffic and weather on the 9s every morning. This is News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show. Thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show here on News Radio 710 WNTM 99.5 FM The Jag. News headlines coming up in 10 minutes from Fox and from Local 15's Darwin. If you want to watch, you can look in on the News Radio 710 WNTM Facebook page. We do have live video of the program. Ariel and I were both in downtown Mobile at different times over the weekend. Ariel, please join me here. Now, Friday night, I attended the NAPPY Awards put on by Lamiak.
By the way, congratulations.
Thank you very, very much. And congratulations to the Lamiak newspaper, which is they're celebrating 15 years.
Oh, good for them.
They have been in existence for 15 years and have become vitally important as another source of information about our community. So congratulations to them. I wanted to ask you about something I've experienced and then ask you about your downtown experience, Ariel. But
okay.
After attending the beginning of the award ceremony and grabbing some awards, I was invited to go to dinner with Dan Brennan and his wife and also Shelby Mitchell of 95 KSJ. And we went to a very nice restaurant in downtown Mobile. Amazingly, we were able to get a table. But I noticed a really interesting and I think clever technique of dining out that Shelby Mitchell had, where we all ordered something to eat, but Shelby didn't eat hers. She ate off everyone else's plate.
Brilliant.
She ate off of everybody else's plate, and then at the end of the evening, she had her full meal boxed up. She ended up getting 2 meals out of one dining out experience.
Which means Shelby has this whole thing, eating out experience figured out.
But is that something you've done? Do you know other people that do this?
No, absolutely not. In fact, I would have probably stabbed them in the hand with my fork if they reached for my plate. I don't share my food. That's crazy.
Well, she was she would distract by talking, dominating all conversation. And I think that had something to do with it.
That's Shelby for you.
But that was I'd never seen anybody do that, where they would go out to a restaurant and not eat their meal, but eat everybody else's meal. And then they leave with a box.
Yeah. Well, I mean, now she has food for tomorrow. So
you're right.
She has 2 days of meals covered, and she only paid for 1.
It was an incredible technique. It was, no offense to the Nappy Awards, but it was it was even more interesting. And maybe it needs its own award.
I like her style.
That special technique. Now, you were also in downtown. What did you do?
Yeah, we, Saturday morning, in fact, Saturday mid-afternoon-ish, I went to Spotted Tea with my son and my sisters.
Well, that's a wonderful place to have breakfast.
It was. I had the Eggs Cathedral. By the way, if you ever go there, just eat the Eggs Cathedral. It was everything.
Well, what is that? What is that? I don't know what that is.
So it's eggs and 2 crab cakes with some kind of seafood sauce.
Ooh.
And potatoes.
Ooh.
It was so good.
Let us note that it's almost been a year since Ariel and I have worked together. When we started, Ariel was beginning her new vegan lifestyle.
Yeah. Clearly,
and now, almost 11 months in, she's having animal.
Hey, you know what? I read something very interesting today. Like, they had these things listed by what each states hate. Alabama apparently hates vegetarianism. Go figure. Go figure.
Well, now what an odd list.
Nebraska hates jellyfish, but Alabama hates vegetarianism.
Now, why would Nebraska hate? Where do they have? They don't have jellyfish in Nebraska, do they?
Your guess is about as good as mine. I've never been to Nebraska.
All right, I need that link.
Yeah, okay.
To find out what about Mississippi?
Oh, I didn't see Mississippi. All I saw was Alabama, and I was like, vegetarianism. That's interesting. Although somebody told me if I watch the documentary on Netflix, What the Health, then I'd go back to veganism.
All
but
right, well, don't do that.
I doubt it.
Don't do that, because you just had Eggs Cathedral.
And it was so good.
And you understand there's these creatures serve a purpose.
Yes, absolutely. That was the best crab cake I think I've ever had in my entire life.
And yeah, I know we can make a pig into a pet.
Yeah, no.
Or things like that. But what good is a crab?
See?
Other than a crab cake.
They pinch you.
Exactly.
So why would I be nice to it? It's not going to be nice to me.
And I feel that way about crocodiles and things like that, alligators. All right, so you went to Spotted Tea. Did you take your 2-year-old?
Yes, and he was actually very, very well behaved. He did very, very well, considering, he's 2 and 2-year-olds normally don't do well in restaurants.
Well, congratulations on that.
He didn't do so great in the peanut shop. It was like the overflow of all the candy just excited him, and he was just like running from window to window trying to pick out his candy. It was a nightmare.
Well, I'm glad you had a wonderful experience at Spot of Tea.
Yeah, it was great.
All right, well, Ariel, thank you. So Ariel's never heard of that technique either. The technique of not eating your own meal, but eating off of everyone else's meal. I guess it takes a special personality to pull that off. And also certain audacity. Coming up, news from Fox, from Local 15's Darwin, the Daily Reagan, other news items, just a lot of stuff coming up as we move forward here on the Uncle Henry Show.
This is a Bloomberg Market Minute. The European Union says it would be prepared to retaliate against the U.S. should Washington hit Russia with new sanctions that affect EU-based energy companies, risking a deeper transatlantic split over economic and security policies. The European Commission, the bloc's executive arm, made the threat as U.S. lawmakers prepare to give the green light as soon as this week to economic penalties against Russia over its meddling in last year's American presidential election. Stock futures are slipping some this morning. S&P futures are down 3 points. Dow futures are down 21. NYMEX crude is up 0.4% at $45.96 a barrel. WebMD Health is surging in pre-market trading. The company agreed to sell itself to the buyout firm KKR in a deal valued at about $2.8 billion. WebMD stockholders will get $66.50 a share in cash. That price is 20% above Friday's closing level and 29% above where the stock traded in mid-February when the healthcare information company announced that it was considering a sale. Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Radio.
We're here with the partners from McNeil Aarons Lambert Financial Group.
John, do you know what goes up and ultimately has to go down?
Oh, I know this one.
Oh, hush, Uncle Henry. Yes, Ed, that has to be the stock market and an airplane.
That's right, John. But do you know what goes down but doesn't have to come up?
I know this one.
My turn again, my turn. That also is the stock market and a submarine.
Boys, do y'all ever get serious?
Not unless we have to or we're working on a client's plan. But these are questions about the market that puzzle everyone today.
We don't have a completely clear crystal ball, but we position our clients' hard-earned money so that it's protected against potential loss, but can still participate in market gains if there are any.
Well, how can we do that?
By diversifying investments and using defensive techniques and products.
Folks, give us a call for a complimentary second opinion to see if your retirement plan can withstand a major hurricane.
Call 666-5000. That's 251-666-5000. Online, malfinancial.com.
710 Time Saver Traffic from the Main Street Flooring and Design Traffic Center.
One of the heaviest rain bands we've been tracking this morning is covering Highway 90 through most of coastal Mississippi on into Mobile County. It is very wet, hazardous, treacherous situations throughout the area. We do have some standing water developing. No reports of outright street flooding as of yet, but that may change as we go along this morning. Still looking at the train, stopped on the tracks, blocking several intersections in downtown Pensacola. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Ray Romero.
Now, Gulf Coast weather from Local 15.
Happy Monday, everybody. You will need to keep that umbrella close today. Our storm coverage is going to be at about 60%. Highs today will struggle to reach 89 degrees. We're going to have additional clouds, rain-cooled air. Overnight low will be dropping into the 70s. And then for your Tuesday and Wednesday, we are back in the 90s with less in the way of storm coverage. I'm Kelly Foster for Local 15 News in this iHeartRadio station.
Why 3 rescued jet skiers are alive this morning. I'm Local 15's Darwin Singleton with this iHeartRadio News Update. 3 missing jet skiers have been successfully rescued by the Coast Guard, all because they were wearing life jackets. It happened in Santa Rosa Sound, Florida, Sunday afternoon around 6 p.m. The Coast Guard says the jet skiers were out on the water when they took a hard right turn, causing their jet ski to sink from underneath them. Officials say because of those life jackets, all 3 skiers were able to stay afloat until they could be rescued some 3 hours later. A person hit by a car and the driver keeps going. Now Mobile police are currently looking for that driver. Police tell us it was just before 9 Sunday night when that unidentified person was struck by the vehicle on Old Pascagoula Road at Theodore Dawes. The victim was unconscious at the scene and taken to the hospital. This morning, no word on the victim's condition. Mobile's first litter patrol removes more than 52,000 gallons of litter and issues more than 5,000 tickets. The City of Mobile first began using litter patrol back in April, and they have since been successfully removing waste off city streets and out of waterways. The city also installed litter cams in well-known hotspots across Mobile to find where folks illegally dump trash. Previous efforts include the construction and installation of that litter trap on Eslava Creek. That was back in 2015. News breaks while you sleep, so when you wake, we'll catch you up on what's happening along the Gulf Coast and around the world every weekday morning on Local 15 Today. We start at 5 a.m. I'm Local 15's Darwin Singleton for this iHeart radio station.
Fox News Radio, I'm Paul Stevens. President Trump's son-in-law and advisor Jared Kushner on Capitol Hill later this morning, meeting with lawmakers to detail his contact with Russian officials during the 2016 campaign and the transition period. Deputy Assistant to the President, Dr. Sebastian Gorka.
The bottom line is we have nothing to hide, Ed. The reality is that this is still a nothing burger. We are, almost 10 months into this cavalcade, this collusion, delusion.
Dr. Gorka this morning on Fox and Friends. The new White House communications director wasting little time setting his own tone.
Anthony Scaramucci made it very clear that there is a new boss in charge of the communications here at the White House and that he's willing to fire anyone on the team that's caught leaking. He also wants to improve the messaging that's coming out of this White House, and to that end, he hinted that some major changes could be coming.
Fox's Kristen Fisher in Washington. Fox News, we report, you decide.
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best.
Hi, I'm Congressman Mo Brooks. President Donald Trump promised to build a border wall to keep us safe and protect American jobs for American workers. But Democrats, and even some Republicans, obstruct funding for President Trump's wall. I make you this promise. Elect Mo Brooks to the U.S. Senate, and I will fight to fund the border wall. Right now, Chuck Schumer and the Democrats use the filibuster rule to kill our conservative America First agenda. Well, two can play that game. We must fight fire with fire. If I have to go to the Senate floor and filibuster to fund the border wall, I will do exactly that. America will build a border wall to keep us safe and to protect American jobs for American workers, or you will know the name of every senator who stands in our way.
Here we are on Facebook. Hello, Facebook. Thank you for wanting to know what's on the Uncle Henry Show. It is a wonderful compliment. It is wonderful. I just want to acknowledge how wonderful it is to have a job that's inside. It's a wonderful thing. Good morning to Scotty White of ScottyWhite.com. Good morning, Scotty White. Give my best to your mama in Bay Minette. In fact, I need to visit Bay Minette at some point before the end of the year just to remember the charm of Bay Minette, or to discover the charm of Bay Minette. So look for me at some point in Bay Minette. I'll have to wait until right now. At this time of year, the traffic going in that direction is just a little too iffy. All right, stand by. We're about to go back to the radio where we have, yes, this is the gesture for going back to radio with the Daily Reagan.
Also receive a free accessory up to $50 with every Liberty Safe purchase. It's service after the sale at Mike Ward's Liberty Safes with free delivery up to 50 miles. Why go anywhere else? Just look for the giant Liberty Safe at exit 5B, I-65 and Moffett in Mobile. Call 471-1137.
Traffic updates every 10 minutes on the 9s every morning. This is the Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM.
We've arrived at the Daily Reagan here on News Radio 710 WNTM 99.5 FM. The Jag. The Daily Reagan, a presentation of SAD Healthcare. That's SAAD, sadhealthcare.com. Here is the president.
We have made a new beginning, but we have only begun. No one pretends that the way ahead will be easy. In my inaugural address last year, I warned that the ills we suffer have come upon us over several decades. They will not go away in days, weeks, or months, but they will go away. because we as Americans have the capacity now, as we've had it in the past, to do whatever needs to be done to preserve this last and greatest bastion of freedom.
The Daily Reagan, a presentation of SAD Healthcare, SAAD, sadhealthcare.com. Coming up in about 15 minutes, Local 15's Darwin will find out what he's covering. One of the things I'm sure that he's covering is the practice facility, University of South Alabama football practice facility, just strangely collapsing over the weekend. In fact, Ariel, join me here just briefly because I know that is today the day that we have the Sun Belt Media Days?
Yes, it is. That's
okay,
good.
so you're going to be running the controls on 99.5 The Jag.
Yeah.
And that's from 9 to 11?
9 to 11. Way to go. Now if something gets messed up, people know it's me.
Oh.
Thanks.
Sorry about that. Well, that's from 9 to 11 today. So just like SEC Media Days where Coach Saban and all the other coaches talked, there's a Sun Belt Media Day today, and we're going to cover it on 99.5 FM The Jag. And Ariel, and I apologize for outing you as the running the board. Now, I'm sure they're going to, at some point, somebody's going to at least mention what happened with the practice. They may not go into great detail or depth, but I'm sure it'll get mentioned.
Was yesterday like windy or something? Maybe it was the wind.
I don't really know what happened there, but that's coming up later today
Yeah.
on 99.5 FM The Jag, the Sunbelt Media Day. And don't expect to hear Ariel talking because I don't think she'll be joining the discussion. She'll just be running the controls. All right, let's see. Before we go into the break, Tony. Hello, Tony.
Hey, Henry, I heard you talking about those people in, where was it, Nebraska, Kentucky, that don't like the jellyfish?
Yes.
That is bizarre. But, they did a poll last year here in Mobile about what people hated the most, and it was your big fat mama.
Oh, you leave my mama out of this. Now, where did that come from?
Time saver traffic from the Dean McCrary Mazda Traffic Center.
We're getting some better news now from downtown Pensacola. That 11,000-foot-long train that stalled out on the tracks and was blocking several intersections for a couple of hours early this morning has now cleared. They got it going and moved on down the tracks again. So better news for drivers in downtown Pensacola. A lot of new accidents on the board thanks to the weather and hazardous conditions this morning, including Snow Road at Tanner Williams, Broad at MLK, the Cochran Causeway near the Bankhead, and Theodore Dawes near the I-10. I'm Ray Romero.
This report is brought to you by LifeLock. It's morning. Here's an eye-opener. LifeLock can see more threats to your identity than you can see if you're just monitoring your credit. And if something happens, a U.S.-based specialist can work to fix it. Go to LifeLock.com. Use promo code RISK to save 10%.
Gulf Coast weather from Local 15 and the Chemco Metal Buildings Weather Center.
Our rain chances are ramping up as we start a brand new work week. Our high today, 89 degrees, very tropical air mass. Our storm coverage today at 60%. For your Tuesday, we're back in the 90-degree saddle. We'll have about a 40% chance of rain, and the weather's going to be on repeat for Wednesday. So we will begin to see our rain chances decrease as the week progresses. I'm Kelly Foster for Local 15 News in this iHeartRadio station.
This report is brought to you by LifeLock. It's morning. Here's an eye-opener. LifeLock can see more threats to your identity than you can see if you're just monitoring your credit. And if something happens, a U.S.-based specialist can work to fix it. Go to LifeLock.com. Use promo code RISK to save 10%.
News? Check. Traffic and weather? Check. Opinions? Check. This is the Uncle Henry Show, only on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show. Thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show. We have Darwin coming up from Local 15 in about 10 minutes. Right now, Angelo of MobileBayCoins.com is with us. Did you have a nice weekend, Angelo?
I did. Busy weekend at the shop, and then got a bunch of work accomplished yesterday, and then ended it, spending a great time watching that show with you guys and reviewing it after the fact. So very good weekend. I was very happy.
Now, we had a little while ago, Ariel mentioned a story about what people in a state hate the most. Some strange list, and it actually comes from a dating app. So it's, I guess, it's what people put in their dating profile that they hate. And she mentioned that Alabamians don't like vegetarianism. So if you're single in Alabama, you're going to have a really tough time if you're a vegetarian, according to this dating app.
Interesting.
Now, the reason I brought that up because there are some in California, fidget spinners are hated.
I'm trying not to laugh because I'm sitting there thinking that's not what I would have expected, but at the same time, I agree with that. I think the whole concept of a fidget spinner is sort of ridiculous.
Okay. Well, anyway, it's an odd concept of things you would put in a dating online. I don't want to get too personal with you, Angelo, but have you ever used an online dating service?
No, sir. No, sir. Never have. Don't ever expect to. And I would throw a side comment out there to this whole process. I think from what I understand from friends of mine that have used these dating apps and websites and whatnot, it seems like it's more of a fictitious story than an actual set of facts about who these people really are. So I don't know if I'd even believe what was on there.
Well, this sounds very realistic. In Louisiana, people allegedly hate being the designated driver.
I can certainly understand
that. That sounds like Louisiana. No offense to Louisiana. All right, let's turn our attention to Mobile Bay Coins, 2204 Government Street in Midtown Mobile, the beginning of a new week. Now, you always have different things come in every week that you don't know is going to walk in from people that want to sell coins or sell jewelry. Is there anything scheduled to come in, any shipments that you know about?
Not that I know of. We were so busy this weekend. Usually over the weekend, Ron and I will discuss what's going on for the next week. But we were so busy on Saturday. We were busy taking care of business. Didn't get a chance to talk about all the new stuff. Now, I know that he did get some really nice silver dollars and some very high-end coins in from one of our grading services that we use, PCGS. So those recently came in. He's got some very nice examples of some Carson City silver dollars. And he picked up a whole collection of silver dollars recently that were all just excellent condition. Most of those are about uncirculated to brilliant uncirculated. Not all of them are certified. Many of those are raw, so an inexpensive way to start collecting silver dollars if somebody wanted to.
You can find out more information on the Mobile Bay Coins Facebook page. In fact, I'm looking right now at a recent coin of the day, an 1895 proof Barber dime. All that great info at Mobile Bay Coins Facebook page. Again, they're at 2204 Government Street, Midtown Mobile. Angelo, have a great day and week.
And I'll see you tomorrow morning.
Yes, you will.
Rush Limbaugh.
Hang on, let me check something here real quick.
No distraction can stop the dissemination of truth.
Damn it, screw it.
Today at 11, News Radio 710, WNTM.
Angelo's here from Mobile Bay Coins. Angelo, I love the knives I bought from you, those weird French knives.
Isn't that strange?
Why do you carry French knives? How did that happen that you have French knives?
Strangely enough, I have a buddy of mine, a knife buddy in France, Kevin Birchet. It's actually Kevin Berger, if you're American. If he's listening, it's Kevin. He's corrected me on the air before with that one. Opinel is a French brand of knife. It's been around since about 1890, classic French design, Everybody over there carries them and knows what they are. We introduced those to Mobile here at the Coin Shop.
Great knives. I use mine in the kitchen, but you have knives for many purposes.
You could have a pocket knife. You could have a little keychain knife. They even carry an oyster knife. And as you mentioned, they have those great kitchen knives.
An oyster? They have oysters in France?
Well, they call them shellfish over there because the French are very shellfish people.
Okay, the knives are Opinel knives?
Opinel. Classic design, been around for 100 plus.
Mobile Bay Coins, 2204 Government Street in Midtown. Look for Mobile Bay Coins on Facebook.
No representation is made. The legal services performed are greater than the quality of legal services of others.
Bill Brooks here in the iHeartRadio studios with attorney David J. Maloney. How have you been, David?
Great. Thanks for
Hello, Facebook. Good morning, Facebook. Here we are waiting. I'm waiting for the call from Darwin of Local 15. So we'll have Darwin joining us in just a moment. Today is National Tequila Day. Now, I'm sure that somebody that sells tequila came up with that idea. Because they don't make tequila in our country. So I don't know why it would be National Tequila Day in the United States of America. That's good marketing. When you can get a day for your product, that's pretty good marketing. Maybe when I'm closer to retirement, I can get the key to the city and get it declared Uncle Henry Day. Just like it was declared Carrie Fisher Day. All right, I'll be right back with Darwin in just a moment.
That really is different, and it bleeds over to your staff, too, doesn't it?
I am willing to do any job within that office. There is no job that is, for lack of a better way of putting it, below me. And I believe that that's important with my staff, too, because then they know that I'm not asking them to do anything that I am not totally willing to do myself. Now, it may not always be the most effective use of my time, but if it needs to be done, then I'll do it.
So put that great work ethic to work. Maloney Frost Attorneys at Law. MaloneyFrost.com. 251-433-4440. Thanks, David.
Bras Across the Causeway is coming October the 1st to Battleship Park, and we're literally going to try to get bras to stretch across the 7 miles. Kathy Smith is here from Bayside Insurance. She is heading it up. What do you need bras, right?
We need bras. We're collecting 15,000 bras. We need sponsorships, $25 to $25,000 or something for everyone. We're going to have a 5K and a Tata Taste-Off.
That's restaurants from around the area and people sampling their food, right?
Yes.
To participate or drop off the bras, where do they go?
We have a Facebook page, Bras Across the Causeway.
710 Time Saver Traffic from the Main Street Flooring and Design Traffic Center.
We're getting some better news now from downtown Pensacola. That 11,000-foot-long train that stalled out on the tracks and was blocking several intersections for a couple of hours early this morning has now cleared. They got it going and moved on down the tracks again. So better news for drivers in downtown Pensacola. A lot of new accidents on the board thanks to the weather and hazardous conditions this morning, including Snow Road at Tanner Williams, Broad at MLK, the Cochran Causeway near the Bankhead, and Theodore Dawes near the I-10. I'm Ray Romero.
This report is brought to you by LifeLock. It's morning. Here's an eye-opener. LifeLock can see more threats to your identity than you can see if you're just monitoring your credit. And if something happens, a U.S.-based specialist can work to fix it. Go to LifeLock.com. Use promo code RISK to save 10%.
Now, Gulf Coast weather from Local 15.
It is going to be a muggy Monday along the Gulf Coast. We've got about a 60% chance of storms today, so grab that umbrella. We'll top that at 89 degrees, overnight low of 74, and a 40% chance of storms by Tuesday. A high temperature of 91 degrees. I'm Kelly Foster for Local 15 News in this iHeartRadio station.
You're home for Rush every weekday at 11. This is the Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show, thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show. News from Fox, news from Local 15 coming up in about 10 minutes right now. Speaking of Local 15, Darwin is with us. Darwin, good morning.
Good morning, Uncle Henry. How are you on this Monday?
It was great seeing you Friday night at the Nappy Awards.
I enjoyed that immensely. Kelly Foster got Best Acre, and our weekend crew got Best Weekend News Team. So we were just really delighted to be part of it, and we thank our viewers for voting for us. That's Kelly is very, very thankful. She wanted me to let you guys know that. So there you have it. And you did pretty good, too. Best talk show host, I believe?
Yes, sir. Kelly Foster seemed so genuinely appreciative. She really seemed very humble, and she seemed to really just, as you pointed out, she seemed so thankful to get that award.
Well, she is. I mean, you get up every morning and you do things that you hope the viewer is paying attention to and they like. And when you get that affirmation, it's very gratifying and very humbling too, because now you got to go back and do it again. So she gets it. She knows, and she's a local girl, so she really appreciates local folks letting her know that they like what she does, and I do too.
Now, Darwin, you're covering a lot of different stories today, as usual. The one I guess I'm most curious about is this unusual collapse of the USA football practice facility.
Yeah, I kind of anticipate which one you're going to find the most interesting, and because it's usually the same one that I do, and that one really did catch my eye. We had drone video on this morning, and we'll probably have it on again at noon. You can see it at our website as well, local15tv.com. It's drone video the day before, or a couple of days before, of the building going up. You can see all the ribs up for the roof and everything. And then the next day, drone video that just shows it collapsed. And there were people that heard a big bang, and then another big bang, and then you see the metal frame on the ground. No workers present this past week. They were off for the weekend, I guess. Thank goodness, because I would hate to think with all that metal falling what might have happened if they'd been working when that happened.
Yes. So, and I, from your report, I suppose this is all in the very early stages of trying to figure out what happened.
Well, we're being told that they'll have some investigators out there today. We interviewed one professor out at USA who knows about these things, probably in engineering, who says it may take a while before they figure out exactly what went wrong, which is all unfortunate because this is a practice facility that was supposed to be open no later than December of this year, and then, a sheltered practice facility for the team. So they were going to be, I guess, not able to use it this season because that'd be pretty late in the season, maybe a little bit, but now for sure not. And it's a big financial, it's an $8 million facility. So,
yeah,
don't know.
Exactly.
Find out what went wrong. Was it an engineering thing? Was there some weak materials? Was there a foundation problem? I don't know, but those things will all be considered. And this is one of those times when you realize how important engineering is to everything,
Or even a vandal.
Well, yeah, you never know. I mean, there were two booms, right? It could have just been this part one of collapse and part two of collapse, or it could have been something else. But, it's being guarded. The site's being guarded because they have to make sure it's not compromised as they investigate. But I haven't heard anything that it might have been something intentional. So we just have to wait and see, but maybe before the week's out we'll know.
Now, Darwin, before we run out of time here, anything else that you're covering that you want to tell us about?
I have a reality check tomorrow that I'm doing, and it's about pet vaccinations. And, usually, do you have a pet, by the way?
Absolutely do, yes.
Dog or cat?
Dog.
Do you vaccinate it every year?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, there's a new school of thought that maybe that's too much. We're going to explore that tomorrow about that possibility and the two schools of thoughts that are colliding right now about that issue. So that'll be tomorrow morning at 5:44 and 6:44. We repeat it, so in case you missed it the first time, you'll be able to see it the second time on our Local 15 Today show.
Great. I'm looking forward to finding out and talking to you about it tomorrow. Hey, before you go, did James Gordon ride the roller coaster?
I don't know. I'll have to find out. He had threatened it. He may have a better stomach than I do. I used to love to ride him, and then once I was out at the fair here in Mobile, and it all went south. And I said, okay, without saying it went south, Uncle Henry, it went south.
I understand exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, so I've sworn off of it. James, I don't know. I have to ask James if he actually did it, but I got a feeling, it's tempting. I kind of want to, but I don't know. The only thing I have left is my dignity, and well, actually, I don't even have that, so I guess it really doesn't matter. So we'll see. Are you going to ride it?
Look, come on. Those days are long past, Darwin. Those days are long past.
Strap on that hat and get on.
Get
on that.
There would need to be some type of cash incentive.
We should do it together. That would be fun, and then we can hold each other's barf bags. All right. Having said all that, as you eat your morning breakfast biscuit.
Yes, Darwin, thank you. Have a great day.
All right, you too.
There he goes.
Bye.
Darwin, Local 15. We're about to get news headlines from Darwin in just a few moments on News Radio 710 WNTM and 99.5 FM, The Jag. Yeah, they sent James Gordon to cover the grand opening of OWA, which was Friday. And I was just curious, TV wants pictures. And what's the better picture than the reporter being thrust onto the roller coaster? So I wondered if James Gordon, or has James Gordon been a reporter long enough that he's earned his way off of the roller coaster? I have to find out. In fact, I know they've got a lot of his video available on their website. I'll have to go look and see if if in one of his reports he's actually on the roller coaster. I am curious. I really do want to go and see firsthand the amusement park. I know they had the grand opening, big crowds over the weekend. For somebody my age with my limitations, I think I'll wait until things cool off a little bit. More show to come. Uncle Henry Show continues.